Hey everyone, I'm Jude Hotep, the goddess astrologer and alchemical initiatrix. This is the daily astrology for this weekend, September 3rd through 4th, 2022. I share this chart with you. How are you doing? I hope you're doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. And I also need a chiropractic adjustments. But I'm doing amazing. So Mars is stationing to go shadow today, shadow retrograde. This is a good thing. It's amazing. Mars is going to go retrograde on the 30th of October. So we have a long time with Mars in shadow and then retrograde. So it's a long time before Mars even goes retrograde. But it means that we're going to have more time to implement all of these amazing, continuous, numerous downloads that we've been getting, and ideas and projects and connections and all this stuff that's been happening. We're going to be able to take implementation of it, to have time to process it and to do the things. So it's a really great time. It's really amazing. It's a great time to be able to slow down and connect more, to have more fun, to do part of some of the October or like autumn type of activities where you do slow down and you do more things that are very external. We have a season change in this month of September. So we're going to be closing out this last 3-month cycle of energy and how that felt and how that was. And really, it's been a really fucking intense energy. It's been a very intense energy. So we've had a lot going on. We have the semi-square from Chiron today to the North Node. Is our ego this healthy ego? And are we really building something from our own genius? Are we doing the things, or are we trying to do that old world? And are we still in those kind of fight or flight type of urgency, anxiety patterns? Those are the patterns we have to break and pattern interrupt and drop. And we have this moon sextile, semi-sextile to the South Node. So it's like this past and past life energy. We have this support to feel and release it. And it's okay and important to do that. So this is this Saturday energy. This Mars is wanting to have the space and grace and time now to do this, to do the things. So this Mercury is moving off of this opposition to Jupiter, and Mercury in Libra is about justice. It's about wanting to level up and to upgrade. And so it's seeking that. It's also seeking balance, meaning that it's not balance of things being equal. Balance is not equality. Balance is not equal. Balance is when you feel balanced inside. And Libra is always seeking that balance. So in communication and our perceptions and our mindset and connecting with people, we're seeking to feel like things feel good. And Libra is that higher octave of aesthetic and beauty and love. And so it's wanting connections to feel really amazing. And it's not wanting shitty, crappy connections that don't feel good right now. So if you're still trying to be in relationships that are not working and you feel like shit in, listen to that message. Are you listening to that message? We often have to get people out of our lives that you think you're never going to, like your family and your mother and your brother and all these people. And it's like, sometimes family is just gestational. There's not a lot of people talking about it, but people are actually starting to really be real about this in the culture right now. And I'm really so thrilled to see it. It's like sometimes family is just gestational. I have known a lot of people that have been getting narcissists out of their lives over the last few months. We must do that because they will dim your light in very subtle, subliminal ways that are tiny. And so you have 100 little digs at you dimming your light, and you don't realize how you're not actually stepping up into your next level of greatness because of it. And part of that is because we've lived in culture and in families where that was normalized behavior. So it feels natural and normal when it's not. It's dysfunctional, and it's not love, and it's a diminishment of who you are. Stepping into your next level of empowerment is so crucial right now. There's a lot of squares in the chart. So, we've been having this T square to Saturn to the nodes for a while. So we've just really gotten used to this energy of really being pushed to deal with our karma, deal with our past lives, to really think about how we're working in the world. Are you working from the new paradigm, coming from what you're creating and the resource of who you are, and going against what other people think in status quo? So we've had a lot of time where we are going against what other people think. That has been coming up in the collective so much for the last 6 months, for a while, about like, well, what about what other people think? It has to be that we have to untangle the issue there that doesn't allow you to disconnect from that. Like, what is keeping you tied to it mattering what other people think? And that's where to go in to look and pinpoint, what is that makes it matter? Why does it matter? What are you making it mean? Is it the loss of community, fear of rejection? Is it thinking that you're not good enough if you're not approved of by a certain group or a certain person? And we have Lilith exactly opposite right now, in this, not exactly, but in this opposition to Saturn, growing into an exact opposition as she moves through Leo, and she is in this, tighter square to the nodes, and is like pushing for us to stand in our strong power, self-worth, our knowing of our value, our honoring what we need and want, even if other people disapprove of it, even if other people put us down, don't like it, demonize us, because Lilith was demonized for standing up for equality in relationship, and then even told that the deity even disapproved of her and demonized her, which, would a deity do that if a deity existed? It's just silly mythologies to put the value system of those in wanting to be in control in that era into the culture for them to be lived out. So we are putting new value systems in the culture. One of the things I hear being talked about is that we're in a spiritual war between the malignant masculine and the divine feminine, the wounded feminine, and the divine feminine. And so while there is sort of this definite rising up of this malignant masculine that's rearing its head to pull women back down, as they always have throughout history, we also actually don't, it doesn't matter. We're not actually in a war. We're building and dismantling the patriarchy, the old value system around and in and through. We're dismantling it by being who we are. We're building the new earth. We're building the new communities. We're building new society all around and all within it. So we're actually not in a war where we're up against them. Like, yes, they're rearing up, and yes, the two are at odds with their value system for sure, but we're not fighting them, and fights never resolve. So we don't really want to be in that mentality of fighting that. So it's something to consider heavily, the mentality that we have towards it. And this Libra Mercury can want to be too fair to those that are not just and that are never going to change. You cannot change narcissists. They 2% ever heal. And to be honest, I don't really think those statistics are real. Like, the only one I ever know that healed, and I still have to like see some like more factual data to really be certain about that, but he had a like traumatic brain injury. So it took like basically being bonked over the head pretty hard for it to like knock the narcissism out of him. So narcissists really don't ever heal. It's not like a treatable condition. So we have to realize that those people, you're not going to convince them. It's just by changing society and more people being in this other world that weird, dark, little, bizarre Neverland world kind of just dismantles and falls away, because it just can't subsist and live anymore. It's kind of like the Ku Klux Klan, where they're out there or whatever, but they don't really have any power, and they're not really making any waves, and they're not really doing much. And maybe, they get some dumb shit done once in a while, but it's like, you don't really you're not scared of them burning your house down and shit these days. I hope not. I mean, maybe in a couple of pockets. We don't want to like discount that there's probably some rural places in Mississippi where there's some pockets of bullshit going on, but my point is that it's not, doesn't have the power that it once held, and we simply need to be above it and beyond it and realize our power and realize that we're not fighting anything. We're so beyond it. So if we look at Sunday the 4th, we have this moon is going to be finishing out Sagittarius and moving into Capricorn. And so that moon where it's kind of moody in the Sag, and it has that square to Neptune where it just wants to be dreaming, creating, and there's just a lot of emotions, and there's a lot of really just wanting to be out in the world and talking to people, and this Mars wants to be out in the world and connecting, and this Mercury wants to be out in the world and connecting. That's really going to be the balm. And then that moon's going to move into Capricorn and is going to definitely have a more stoic energy of being able to get some projects kind of have more liftoff and more implementation. Before it hits Capricorn, though, it has a sesquisquare to the North Node. And so it's definitely thinking a lot about our purpose, our mission, our calling. And there's so much energy where this lag, this overpowering energy of Mars is needing the space to really take that creative energy and work on the things that came through and downloaded. We do have a ton of quintiles and biquintiles in this chart. So there's this background of deep soul, spiritual energy. There's this background of happiness and creativity and play and fun. And that's where you go. If you can go there and release stuck emotions, you're going to have the flow. And if you can connect to people and humans, then you're going to really have an amazing weekend. This is a weekend to go out and have fun and connect. It's a weekend to get the emotions unstuck, because they'll kind of stall you out if you're just living in them, not realizing that's simply an emotion you can release. It's simply an emotion you can do some Reiki on, get some energy work. I've been noticing how powerful energy work is lately to really move that energy out, that the energy is ready to go, but for some reason it's hanging out in the body. It's something I'm seeing a lot lately with people. So definitely realize that. Emotions, just do your emotional work, face them, because if we don't, they make the shadow bigger. And also connect to people, be happy, be creative, be in that play creative energy. Realize that the feminine makes money from play, rest, and creative fun energy, from pleasure, from joy. That's how we make money. That's how we make a successful, thriving business. That's how we get all our downloads and ideas. And that's how we know when the natural place is to do all the work and hammer it home and get the shit done. But if we don't play and connect and get those needs met, we go into that very toxic feminine energy of unhappiness and anger. So we have to really give ourselves what we need, and then we will have the natural explosion of being able to act and implement and execute. It's very natural for us women that we do it naturally. We need what we need, and we need to answer the call of what we need. That's what this Taurus energy is like, when I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm tired, I sleep. Like, give yourself the rest you need. Give yourself the novelty you need. Novelty, stimulation. This Mars, one stimulation is going to get it no matter what. So is it healthy? Is it unhealthy? I've been talking about this a lot, because the unhealthy form is being up in those psychodynamics, those psychodramas, and that's that South Node that we want to move away from. So it's like not getting deeper into all the bullshit, but really asking like what you need to be able to be beyond it, which is a lot. We have the moon making the septile today too to Saturn. And so we have some otherworldly energy coming in from beyond to help explode our goals and implement, and to have some answers come through that we really need. So there'll be some answers coming through. There'll be some information coming online, and that will really help a lot. So we do have a lot of positive energy to Lilith, to standing in our power with our healthy ego, with our belief system, and sifting through all the subconscious beliefs that no longer serve us, and really purposely programming in the beliefs that serve us. That's all the work that we do in Alchemical Goddess. Changes your life, keeps you in deep transformation. So you are upgrading into the version of yourself that you always wanted to be, that makes the shit happen, has the soulmate relationships, and is the you that's authentic and true and that you love, and just growing that self-love from this place where it's just so natural, and it comes online, because we're working at your chart and digging into your chart and all the amazingness about you and what makes you unique and your unique soul codes. And so you just, the self-love just deepens, the self-compassion just pops online. It's so powerful work. Let's pull some cards. Telling you what, I'm going to use this goddess deck today. I haven't used it for a minute. I had to get it out of the trunk of my car. I haven't used my unicorn deck for a minute, so I might pull that out. I have this other unicorn deck that I like something about it, but I don't like the cards. They're not quality, and I don't like, they have a bigger one, but I don't, there's something about it that's cheesy or chintzy or something, or both. But I like the words on the cards and some of the pictures, a lot of the pictures, and they just need to make them better. Anyways, we have Zenith, she who prepares, formulate, strategize, devise. So this moon on Saturday is going to go into Capricorn. So we're going to have the emotional place naturally to strategize, devise and formulate, and all those ideas coming in. We want to do that, we feel compelled to do that, but there can be a lot of scattered unconscious energy. It's okay. So how do we, she who prepares, so this preparation is this Virgo sun that we're in. This Virgo sun wants to ground, it's practical, it wants to have the schedule, it wants to integrate all this data so that it can eliminate what's not needed. So use that Virgo sun to eliminate everything. It's like when you're editing a piece of copy or an essay, a piece of writing, you eliminate so much crap. You revise and edit. Editing is getting rid of stuff. Revising is really working with the content and changing that content. So you move content out. Revision is eliminating, rather, and editing is like all the grammar and so forth, sentence structure. But that revision is eliminating what doesn't serve you and what is just not supposed to go on the journey with you. That is all these ideas, but they're ideas that were like exciting, that Mars and Gemini, it's so exciting, it's so but it's just, I don't have the energy for this. I don't want to do this. Maybe somebody else should do this idea. I should start selling ideas. Like, I really should start selling ideas. And then we have Blue, this goddess, she who loved once, fragile, secret love, rejection. So this blue energy. So what is going on there? Who's got a secret love? Who's feeling like there's some grief and some loss to handle? And all of this energy they talked about earlier in the horoscope, that there's a lot coming up from past lives, there's a lot coming up from our subconscious, but we're really supported with feeling the emotions. I recommend the energy work to help move that energy on. There, we want to release emotion. So what are your methods for releasing emotion? I teach the breath release technique. I also use tapping, and I also use some other somatic exercises that for different emotions, depending on what they are. Anxiety is a whole different ball game. We do something different. And anxiety is about really understanding the emotion underneath it. So realize that there's this powerful energy of moving people out of our life that don't serve us any longer. That's Pluto. Pluto is about like what no longer allows us to grow. And if it's not allowing us to grow anymore, it's time to end the cycle, to end the pattern. And we do feel loss and grief. And as long as we just release that loss and grief, then we move through it. If we don't actually feel the emotion and then release it, honor that it's there, honor its presence, ask it for the messages and the important information it has for us, but then release that shit, then it stays around, and it's kind of like this ghost and this miasma that's kind of haunting us. We have Andrante, she who enfolds, swath, embrace, self-care. So on the heels of this love that is lost and needing to grieve, it is the one who takes care of herself and does that self-care work. Salt baths help to release the toxins from crying and having emotions and things. Exercising, you know, aerobic exercise can really get it out and sweat it out. Hot yoga class, movement any kind, and also the self-care of stimulation, pleasure, play, joy, connection. That is really making you a fully resourced woman and is so important. She has a bluebird on her shoulder. There's a little bit of this kind of fierce energy of a boundary with her, that she has boundaries in place that allow her to have time for herself, away from her kids, away from her family, to take care of herself. It is a must. And we have Abananalaka, justice, fierce commitment, she who battles. And she has this fierce sword. And there's this song I like that's like, you know, I have my sword down by my side. Like I don't need it, but I got it by my side. You know, it's like she's wearing a white dress. There's no blood on it. So she's a badass. She's got this. She's fierce if she needs to be. And that's the energy of not being in that anticipatory anxiety, of knowing that you can face whatever challenge as it occurs, rather than embracing, rather than being an anticipatory energy for a challenge to occur that hasn't occurred yet. That fear of doom that a lot of people sell and push. And also bracing for the bad. Stop bracing for the bad and believe in the good. And we have to believe in the good right now. She's wearing a white dress. That's some belief. If you're going off into a possible battle with the red and the dark, and it's like the smoke, and wearing a white dress, like you really believe in the good and that shit going to be good. So it's like, you know, and her dress is like so brilliant white. It's the light, just knowing that the light is always going to subsume the darkness, and that she's definitely can handle her shit if it goes down and she needs to. Futura, she who divines, future choice judgment. This is a powerful reading. So it's like, okay, we purge the sadness, we do some preparation, grounding work, and like strategize. Okay, all the emotions come up of why. This is actually a great way about this card, that we got strategize first and put our plans in place about our business, and then we got the sadness card. So it's like, okay, maybe about what didn't work before, or the shitty things you were thinking about your capabilities and your ability, the self-worth limitations you were kind of buying into. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to do some massive self-care here, put some boundaries in place, and then I'm going to get out of that anticipatory anxiety and believe in my ability to create everything I desire. And also you see how she's patient, she's not rushed, she's not hurried, she is just fierce and strong and sturdy and steady. She's not hurrying and rushing around. She just knows she does it as she does it. And just in this like commitment to the good, and commitment to her purpose, commitment to her project, her business, whatever we're doing. And then Futura, this look into the future and really letting your future self call you forward, your future self that's already created what you are working on right now, that's already had the success, that's already had the result that you're working on and created it, and is calling you forward. Let her speak to you from the future to tell you everything's going to be really damn good. You're doing this. This is powerful. Don't even doubt yourself for a second. Really look into the future at your future self, and what is she doing? What thoughts is she thinking? She's already accomplished this. What thoughts is she thinking? What is she feeling? She's already made the goal happen, and she's already upgraded to your next level. So what is she thinking, feeling? Let her guide you forward. Yelena, she who knows, wisdom, clarity, resolution. And this brings everything to acute clarity, resolution of knowing everything's okay. You're exactly on purpose. You're exactly on the right place in your journey. You're exactly in the exact right, beautiful space at this moment in this time. And the wisdom of that understanding with all of your knowledge. Anything else that's important, it's a perfect reading. And then you're the guide, and then you're the leader for humanity, leading humanity into healing, awakening, and liberation. So she who guides, new path, guide, renewer, Mapuptala. Mapula. I don't know, you could say that a few ways, but she has this chickadee on her shoulder, and it's a very regal bird. It's like a rare chickadee. I don't know if it's a chickadee, but it's in that family. But it's like kind of a rare bird. I can't remember like what area that would be in, but all of this yellow with all of that white light energy, there's just this regalness, this, like you see the stars like this, it's like this goddess from the, you know, the galaxy, this galactic goddess come down to bring the light and guide humanity into this next phase of our evolution as humanity. It's so powerful and fun and amazing what we're doing. We are doing powerful work, and it requires you to believe in yourself and upgrade your self-worth. Sending you lots of love for this powerful weekend. Have fun, be in the creativity, and face the emotions. All right, I'll talk to you on the sun sign horoscopes on Monday.